07 citizens, my name is Black and welcome to my channel Casa Black Gaming, a home where new players and old can find helpful guides, honest ship reviews, graphical vehicle loadouts, and deep dives into the roadmap. With the Invictus event launching this week, and with it a large free fly event for both new players and old to try out numerous ships for free, I thought it was a good time to offer up this public service announcement and some quick tips to help players not only enjoy the event, but to also maybe reduce some of the performance issues that can plague us all. Now, if you are a new player who has never created a Robert Space Industries account before, then use the referral link flashing in the upper right hand corner, which I also have down in the description below with a link so you can earn yourself some free goodies, which can change depending on the current specials that Star Citizen is running, so do check out their website for all the current specials. Now, before I get to the tips, I wanted to offer up a quick warning on what to expect with the event, just to help set expectations. So the Invictus Free Fly event is one of the busiest times in the game, with so many new and returning players coming in to see what has changed and how the game has evolved, not to mention it being the best time to test out ships or to purchase them because of all of the sales. Now, with the hype surrounding Star Citizen being at an all-time high with what's to come in the rest of 2024, these servers will definitely be flooded this year, perhaps more than they ever have before. Now, in years past, especially last year, the event was pretty rough, especially at the planetside city where the event is taking place, and that again will be where the majority of performance drops are going to be at this year. But it cannot be avoided since you need to rent the free ships from the event floor before you can fly them. And this year, it's going to be held at Area 18 on ArcCorp. Now, as more and more players arrive to view the ship showrooms, so too will the issues begin. There's also the issue of players just leaving ships around at landing zones, which will also cause lag, and since persistence is a thing, those ships will remain in the verse, which could be solved by allowing players to tow those ships away for salvage, but since there is no systems in place to allow the towing of ships in armistice zones, this issue will continue each and every free flight, so just beware of that. I'll touch more on that in a moment in my tips section. The event itself is kind of a double-edged sword. Now, while it's great to see so many new players coming into the verse for their very first time and getting to see what the game has to offer, it is also a terrible time for new players to check out the game because many might get aggravated by the performance hitches and bugs, and as the servers begin to struggle, it causes some cascading failures or hiccups across many of the systems that run the game. Now, one such system that people are going to find an issue with is the call feature that handles all of the system's interactions, such as pushing buttons to call elevators, exiting your seats from your ships, etc. And with the new foundational tech in the game with 323, the replication layer, it's still being in its early stages. It can also exacerbate the issue until it's fully fleshed out in subsequent patches. Now, even though the system is designed to recover a server when it goes down and keeps your in-game state sort of paused until the server recovers, the event will not be the ideal time to test this new feature, so it's possible we could see some issues come from such a heavy load of players. But it is what it is at this point, as time has run out for further testing, so let's just hope for the best. Alright, so with what is expected to be probably one of the biggest events in the game's history, I just wanted to give new players a fresh warning, which I just did, and maybe even some quick tips, which I'm going to do now, on how to handle the game as a new player. Tip number 1, choose ArcCorp and Area 18 as your starting planet. Starting off on ArcCorp is going to save you the headache of traveling and landing at the place where the event is being held. Now, once you've created your character and logged in, just follow the signs leading to the Bevic Convention Center and head to the showroom floors to see the ships that you can rent, and you're able to click on them once near or under them so you can rent them. They will be flyable for 2 days along with your starter ship or other ships that you do own, or any other ships that the game may allow new players to have to try out. Tip number 2, get to space as soon as possible. Now, after you've rented whatever ships that you want, you're going to want to head to the Riker Memorial Spaceport and call out your ship and get off the planet as quickly as you can. The longer that you remain on the planet, the longer your frames per second are going to continue to tank, and getting off the major planets will usually give you better FPS in general, and that is especially true of being on ArcCorp during this event. So make sure you get your ship and get out. Tip number 3, head to an L1 station. Now, once in space, there are of course orbital space stations over every major planet that you can call home, but some do not offer up all of the supplies that you're going to need as a new player. My favorite is Arc L1's Wide Forest Station, but any of the L1s still have armor, weapons, and a medical clinic that you can set your respawn at. To find an L1 station once you've left ArcCorp's orbit, just open up your star map by pressing F2 by default. Then in the upper left hand corner search box, just search for L1. All of the options are going to populate, and then just choose one, making sure to select the actual station name along with that L1 designation, and set the destination and then quantum travel there. Mick L1's Shallow Frontier Station is good if you want to head to the snow-covered planet of Microtech, which is probably the most popular destination for a variety of mission types. Crew L1's Ambitious Dream Station as well as Seraphim Station are two more good spots that you can do, especially if you're more into bounty hunting. Her L1's Green Glade Station is a good one for mining and also more bounties and planet-side missions. Now the choice is yours, so set your destination and go. Tip number 4, now once you land at the station, go put your ship up at the terminal inside and head over to the medical clinic and find the insurance terminal, which is usually just inside past the check-in and pharmacy terminals. They're going to look like this. Once there, just touch the screen and select Transfer Imprint. Your respawn point is now set at that location, so anytime you die, this is where you're going to respawn at instead of starting back on the planet, which can take a lot more time to get in and out of. Tip number 5, dress for success. Now for new players, one of the hardest parts to understand is how inventory works. Now I do have a full inventory guide that is helpful, but things will be changing very soon with an update coming to this same patch cycle. Anyway, basically before heading out to go to any mission, you need to make sure you have everything on your body that you're going to need. Make sure you have at least medium armor, a multi-tool which you can pick up on most stations at the armor or weapon stores, or sometimes on the cargo or refinery decks of the station that you're on, which you can find through the elevators. Your multi-tool will need the tractor beam attachment, so be sure to add that as well. Make sure you have at least one weapon and the ammo that you're going to need for that weapon. A backpack is a must, and the backpack size must match the armor torso size you're wearing. So if you're wearing a medium chest piece, you can only wear a medium or light backpack, etc. Store extra ammo in your backpack. You can reload from the backpack if you don't have any ammo on your chest, but it is slower, so make sure you keep your chest stocked at all times. I like to carry at least 10 ammo clips on me in my backpack and whatever goes on my chest. You should also stop by the pharmacy and buy the white med gun and a canister or two of the green goo to refill it. Also, some red med pens are a must. Now once you have all of these supplies, you are ready to head out and do missions depending on what you want to do. Honestly, if you're just going to do ship bounties, I wouldn't even get dressed in armor and just make sure you wear like a white jumpsuit and a helmet, but I still do recommend grabbing a tractor beam. Tip number 6, logging out. Now, I could go on and on about tips for this game, but I wanted to give this tip to try and help out the huge amounts of clutter the game is going to see, which is going to impact everyone's experience. Now, I know it will seem easy to just log out wherever you are, and who really wants to fly your ship all the way back up to a station just to park it? But please, for everyone's sake, put your ships up. Now, you can fly it to any station. It doesn't have to be your home base of operations. Just fly it to one, land, and that's it. If you land inside of a hangar, you don't even have to go inside and put it up at the terminal. Although that is best, you can just land and log out from your seat. The ship will then be put up after so much time, and you and the ship will be right back there at that station when you log back in. Now, if you log out while on a planet's surface, the ship is going to remain there for who knows how long. We see so many people leaving ships outside ground landing zones or on landing pads at outposts on planets, and besides clogging up the landing pads, it also just impacts performance, leaving these big ships laying around everywhere. Now, if you feel the need to leave it at an outpost, like you just don't have time, at least fly it just a little bit outside the armistice zone of that little landing area, so someone can at least come along and salvage it. Anyway, just don't be a dick. Okay, so I have plenty more tips, but that's going to be it for this new little player event primer. There are so many more tips and helpful things that I've got videos for. Chances are, if you're having some kind of issue, I've already got a video for it, and most are really quick. Now, if you're wondering what components to buy for your ship, I also have loadout videos for most ships, so again, just browse my channel. Anyway, thank you for watching, and enjoy your time out there in the verse, and keep it positive, guys.